I'm glad I can make you guys think for
It's Chris Cornell. How you doing, man?
How do you know it's Chris Cornell?
Because I've seen you before.
Oh.
It's Chris Cornell.
One of the greatest singers in rock history.
That's
right
what it is.
there.
I've always said it. I've always said that
we've been
you guys one of the best.
We've been huge fans, and that's why we're kind of disappointed. We got to at least acknowledge the fact that we got a lot of equipment set up because we thought you were playing today, and there was a miscommunication somewhere.
We were just talking about that. I don't know how the miscommunication happened, but I'll sing a little bit for you. If I could put time in a bottle, then there's one thing I'd like to do. I'd put some time in the bottle, and then I'd have time in a bottle.
All right.
Thank you.
Wow.
I came through. I totally
Jim
came
Croce.
through.
Yeah, I don't know how people like somebody says, "Oh yeah, Chris will come in and sing," and even I was like, "It's kind of early."
Yeah,
for someone to sing. I know how it is to wake up and try to belt something out.
Yeah.
You know, especially with your range and vocal style, it's not really conducive to morning singing.
Not really. I mean, I've done it, but you have to wake up even a couple hours earlier and sort of kind of take a shower and sing.
Or stay up all night or something.
Well, that's sort of what I'm doing now. I played a show last night and the night before at the Beacon. So
2 sold-out shows at the Beacon.
Yeah. So I've had about an hour's sleep right now. That's why I don't really know where I am.
You're just kind
of singing Jim Croce. That's why that's happening.
I like your version better. Time in a bottle.
Just to get it out of the way, the last time we saw you, you were in Audio Slave.
Mm-hmm.
You were the lead man for Audio Slave. What happened? Just time to move on?
Yeah. I had a solo career happening, and that's sort of why Audio Slave was able to happen for me. And it was an opportunity that came up. And really since Temple of the Dog, I've thought, and I want to keep my mind open to cool collaborative ideas. And it was that. But we did 3 albums pretty quickly, and I'm very proud of them, love the albums, and then just felt like it was time for me to move on.
Right.
And go back to my own world of kind of doing whatever I want.
I always thought you were your own person. Like, it's hard for you to just stay in a band.
Maybe I got issues. I was thinking about that, like I get a little stir crazy. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you've been successful no matter what you've done, with Soundgarden and then the Temple of the Dog, which, by the way, I'm a huge fan of that album. Huge. I can't get enough of it. I was just jamming Say Hello to Heaven the other day, just singing along to that freaking song, and my vocals are nothing like
yours. Don't sing along.
Nothing like yours.
And
then
what's your favorite song on it?
Say Hello to Heaven.
Say Hello to Heaven. Okay, 2, 3, go.
No way.
And you're on.
No way, man.
I love when people. You don't understand how that is for a guy that has a range like you. When people go, hey, could you sing that song? Like if you're a singer and people go, hey, sing that Soundgarden song or sing that. You're like, no, you don't understand. It doesn't just come out like that.
Yeah.
That's where the talent part is.
Sometimes when I aim the mic toward the audience at the wrong time in certain songs and stuff doesn't come back.
It's not. Hey, Chris, man, we just can't do that. Stop it.
I realize,
what are you doing?
Yeah. If it's like everybody say, yay, they're going to come up with a yay, but certain parts of songs, it might not come back the right way.
Yeah.
But
the real high part of Say Hello to Heaven.
Yeah.
He has one of those voices that you actually think you can sing, like Journey. You actually think you can sing that good.
Well, you got to go into falsetto, so you got no power at all.
But you just think he's great.
You're singing like a little girl. Say hello to heaven. Heaven.
That's pretty good.
And knows how to sing.
You can carry a tune.
He downplays it, but Anthony knows how to sing. He really does.
Yeah. I used to have a few bands back in the old days, You got
to hear his Neil Diamond.
Fuck. I'll sing Neil all day and all night.
All day.
Don't get me started on the Neil. I heard about I read something where when you first started singing, you actually tried to figure out where your range was and really couldn't even find it. You just kept trying to go higher and higher.
Well,
you wouldn't crack.
I would sort of want to scream. There are parts of the songs that were written where it's just screaming. That's the part. There's a melody and then there's the screaming part. And to scream, I would just sort of sing above my range, and then your voice breaks up and it gets all shrill and it's white noisy. And we were working on a particular song called Heretic that the bass player wrote the lyrics for, and all he could do was scream, really. But then it was decided that I was going to now sing it. So I would scream that part, and one day I kind of went really high to get my voice to break up, and there were like a whole bunch of notes up there. And that's kind of where it started. And then I would come back a couple days later, and there wouldn't be. And so it kind of, some days I could sing the notes, some days I couldn't, and then it was sort of on-the-job training. We were a band for 3 years before we put out a record. We played a lot, and then we toured, for years before really we started selling records.
That's amazing to me.
We did. I was remembering now, because if I do 3 shows in a row, I'm kind of, that's enough.
A little shot.
I need a day off. And our Soundgarden, I remember we did 18 shows in a row.
Wow. Christ.
And I'm thinking, how did I do that? 18 in a row. If you can do 18 in a row, you can do 365 in a row, I figure.
Yeah, right.
I mean, after about 10...
you wake up in the morning going like, "Oh, can't do it tonight. No way."
I didn't remember worrying about it too much. I feel like
me.
what I do now is much better than what I did then, because I pay a lot more attention to it, and I want to part of it is like people saying, "Well, this guy's a great singer," and he was number whatever on the list of great singers, and over the years I've thought, well, I got to kind of live up to that. So I kind of try to make sure I'm in good vocal form. And I don't know, I think back then it was a little more crazy, and Soundgarden was so loud that in some ways it kind of, if I sang the best I'd ever sang in my life, I'm not sure you would have heard it.
What about, Jesus, what the hell was I just going to ask you?
Well, speaking of Soundgarden, you guys ever...
I hate when that happens.
Would you get back together?
I had a great question.
We do, too.
Yeah.
Nah, go screw yourself, Bobby.
Where you at with Soundgarden? Would you guys ever, do a little something?
I don't think so.
You're done with them, too?
Well, it's been 10 years now, and not once have I received a call or heard of anybody wanting to get that going again. So
the fans, man, that's who wants it to get back together.
Yeah, you guys had some great stuff.
Yeah, how long can time go by before it gets silly that you get together again?
I don't know. I think it's so cool to not do it.
To just not do it?
Yeah. It's a way of, especially nowadays with everyone getting back together, it's a way of being cutting edge. Soundgarden can be cutting edge by doing absolutely nothing. There's a sort of a genius in that. We don't have to get up.
Do you do?
They're really ahead of the game, man. They're ahead of everybody.
You do Soundgarden tunes, a couple of them, when you play out?
Yeah, I do a lot of different songs.
Yeah.
The band I have out now is really amazing, and I'm having an incredible time with them. We're doing songs from, I think the oldest one we've done is off of Louder Than Love. And they play great, and then kind of everything from then on. There's a lot of solo songs I did over the years from movies, and then...
You do Seasons?
Yeah, we do that.
Oh, God, I love that song.
Anything
from the single soundtrack.
Yeah, from the single soundtrack. Anything I want from Soundgarden. We know about 3 or 4 Temple of the Dog songs, and we do a couple Audioslave songs, and then for my 2 solo records, and then I do weird cover songs occasionally.
You do Billie Jean?
I do that, yeah.
I was just hearing about that. I haven't heard it yet, but I hear it's almost unrecognizable. You do
it's very different. It's like a sort of gospel-y. It's actually a heavy song lyrically about a guy who, gets involved with this woman who says, this is your kid, and it's not his kid. And it's like, all we remember really is it's a dance track, and he's walking backwards, but it looks like he's walking forward. And I ended up doing that because I had this period in the set where I do acoustic songs, and I just started getting goofy and trying to pick silly songs or songs you wouldn't expect to play and just kind of freak the audience out. And I thought, who would be really the last person anyone would ever expect me to cover? And I thought Michael Jackson. But then when I kind of unraveled that song and was reading the lyrics, and I changed the time signature and made it sort of gospel-y, it became really kind of heavy.
Yeah.
And then I really liked it. And that's how it ended up on the record. I just thought, it's a good thing to remind an audience occasionally that, songs and music are really pliable and malleable, and we don't really have, genres don't really exist like we want them to sometimes, You can, when Johnny Cash did Rusty Cage, I kind of learned a big lesson there.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I remember Rick Rubin asking me to do do an arrangement of Rusty Cage so that Johnny Cash could record it, and I thought he was out of his mind. And I actually tried like an idiot, and then called him and said that no, I can't do it. And then he didn't do it for that record. He did it for another record, and then I heard it, and of course it went do 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 like every other song, and then the lyrics to Rusty Cage.